When analyzing Baltasar Engonga's behavior from a psychological perspective, there are several key dimensions to consider, including his motivation, the risk factors involved, and the broader impact on society and his relationships. Engonga's behavior indicates a pattern of high-risk, potentially thrill-seeking behavior. Recording explicit videos with high-profile individuals and storing them in his personal spaces, knowing the high stakes involved, suggests a degree of impulsivity and a lack of forethought regarding consequences. This recklessness can indicate a personality disorder, possibly with narcissistic or antisocial traits, where self-gratification outweighs the regard for legal, social and relational boundaries. Engonga's actions may have been driven by a desire for power, validation or dominance over others, given his relationships with spouses of influential figures. There is also an element of exhibitionism here, as he did not merely engage in these activities but actively documented them, even with visible national symbols, showing a potential desire to display power or status. In psychology, recording intimate acts can point to underlying exhibitionistic tendencies where there is gratification from exposing oneself or one's acts, especially to assert control or superiority. This need to record and subsequently to risk these recordings being discovered may suggest a deeper psychological drive for attention or validation, traits often seen in narcissistic or psychopathic profiles. Although Engonga reportedly claimed to be in an open relationship with his wife, his actions show a disregard for mutual respect and ethical boundaries. Engonga's behavior is a classic example of duplicity, often seen in individuals who can compartmentalize their relationships to pursue multiple conflicting desires. By engaging with the spouses of other officials, Engonga not only jeopardized his professional relationships but also betrayed any implied trust. Such a pattern may point toward an inability to form emotionally intimate connections or a disregard for authentic relational reciprocity. Social and public health risks. Engonga's actions have raised public health concerns, including the risk of sexually transmitted infections. From a psychological standpoint, habitual promiscuity can sometimes stem from underlying compulsions or self-destructive tendencies, where the individual feels compelled to seek out numerous partners, often with little regard for the potential physical or social risks involved. The impact of his actions on the public trust in government institutions further emphasizes his disregard for collective welfare, a trait often observed in individuals with narcissistic tendencies. Potential psychological diagnosis. If Engonga were to be formally assessed, a psychologist might explore the possibility of narcissistic personality disorder or antisocial personality disorder. Individuals with narcissistic personality disorder often have grandiose views of themselves, require excessive admiration, and may lack empathy, traits that align with Engonga's reported behavior. Meanwhile, antisocial personality disorder involves chronic disregard for others' rights, manipulative tendencies, and often reckless behavior. These disorders frequently co-occur with high impulsivity, risk-taking, and a lack of remorse, an attitude that Engonga seems to display, given his alleged disregard for the ethical and professional repercussions of his actions. Consequences and societal impact. Engonga's behavior has not only jeopardized his career but has impacted national morale, shaken trust in public institutions, and brought about a governmental crackdown on unethical behavior within ministries. His case highlights the significant consequences of such behavior, which go beyond individual repercussions to affect collective trust and societal values. As the Vice President pointed out, ethics and respect are foundational in public service, and breaches like these underline the need for accountability and stronger institutional boundaries. In conclusion, Baltasar Engonga's actions appear to reflect a complex interplay of narcissistic traits, impulsive risk-taking, and perhaps even deeper psychological issues. His behavior underscores the need for strong ethical guidelines, mental health awareness, and accountability mechanisms within public service. While this analysis provides a psychological framework for understanding his actions, a thorough evaluation would be necessary for a definitive diagnosis.